often do you struggle on teaching pronunciation in your classes? Are you familiar on teaching the sounds of English to your students? If so, please do me a favor. On the comments below this webinar, tell us how, because we want to learn from you. And you, as an educator, would you love to teach your students mastering the sounds of English in an easy, effective, interactive, and powerful way? My name is Cristina Mauricio. I'm an expert on pronunciation and I'm a public speaking trainer. And today, I'm so happy to give you a brief introduction of the plenary talk I will be delivering next November 13 at MEXTESOL. Do you want to know the title of the talk? Let me share with you. It's gonna be Mastering the Sounds of English with My Heart, My Mind, and My Hands. I believe that if we love what we are learning, learning will be easier. Then we need our minds to get to know how. And finally, we need our hands to practice and to master anything that we are learning. Let me ask you some questions. What do you know about pronunciation? What do you know about teaching pronunciation? Do you know this? This is the International Phonetic Alphabet. Some teachers may say like, oh my goodness, this is so difficult. But do me a favor. If you know how to use it with your students, let us know on the comments, all right? Are you familiar with phonemic charts? Listen, I have a friend from Angola. His name is David Fernando. And one day he told me something incredible. He said that in geography classes, we need maps, right? To know about the places, the countries, the continents. But in an English class, we should have phonemic charts because they are going to be maps where to place our tongues, how to move our mouths, how to produce the sounds. So, David, I'm so happy for all the things that you are doing. He has his own phonemic chart and he is just great. Another question. Do you teach your students how to read these phonemic transcriptions? Did you know that all the phonemic transcriptions about the words are found in a dictionary and they are very useful? And here is another question for you. How useful do you think it would be for your students to master these sounds, to master this code? Because the International Phonetic Alphabet is another code and it has the sounds, it has the codes for the English sounds. So how useful do you think it would be for your students to master them? And I have another question for you. What do you want to know about mastering the sounds of English? This, guys, is so important for me because my mission is to help you to teach this in an easy way. So your students feel confident, they are not stressed, and they can achieve their goals. Let me tell you something. Did you know that a person can lose 30% career opportunity due to the lack of English proficiency? Did you know that a person can lose 30% credibility due to the lack of English proficiency? Yes, and I have worst news. Mexico is ranked in the place 82 for English proficiency. This is not low. This is very, very low, right? I believe that if we teach pronunciation to our students, if we teach them the sounds, they are going to learn better. The other day, I was reading an article. In Russia, they don't start teaching grammar, vocabulary, conversations. They start the 101 would be pronunciation. And I said, oh my goodness, that is great. So they have great results at teaching English. Let me share with you a video from my friend, Professor Ruben Garcia from Peru. And I asked him, how important is communication, right? So please, let's watch this video.
because proper communication is related to assertiveness, which is a form of behavior characterized by a confident declaration of affirmation of a statement without need of proof. This affirms the person's rights or point of view without either aggressively threatening the rights, assuming a position of dominance, or submissively permitting another to ignore or deny one's rights or point of view. We need to be assertive. We need to mean what we say, to say what we mean. With this in mind, without any doubt, we can communicate effectively.
Ruben, I love you. Thanks a lot for sharing this with us. And yes, I agree. If we communicate effectively, we are going to be more assertive and we are going to succeed in any area we are using English, right? And I'm going to tell you a story. What can you see in the picture? The girl is sad, okay, frustrated, maybe humiliated. Okay, let me share you something. I used to be that girl. I've been a teacher for more than 25 years, and I remember that I wanted desperately to become a teacher, but my pronunciation was terrible. I remember in the university, I used to hide from my teachers. I didn't want them to know how bad my pronunciation was. So I decided to become a children's teacher and also with teenagers, so I wouldn't feel so exposed, and I lost a lot of opportunities. My pronunciation was not that bad, but I was not feeling confident. I couldn't speak in public. In all the meetings, I used to hide. I used to pretend that I was sick because I was afraid. I was scared. And even being a teacher, and I consider myself intelligent. Have you ever thought about your students? Have you ever thought those students that are in your classroom, how do they feel when they are in the real world facing the challenges to speak English? Have you ever thought how frustrated, how humiliated, how terrible they feel because they cannot pronounce properly? I want you to think about that. And I am not making this like in general, but anxiety, it's so terrible. I'm going to be telling you about that with another friend, David Perodin, which I love. So I'm gonna be sharing with you guys some ideas. Why can't I speak English? What do you think your students would say? Maybe because it's too difficult. Maybe because they feel embarrassed. Maybe because they don't understand, because they are too busy to study. Did you know that one of the greatest challenges that we have in distance education is discipline? People cannot set times or schedules to study. Then you miss opportunities. I missed so many opportunities because I couldn't speak properly. It's too expensive. I remember that I didn't have money to pay private classes. I used to pay in an academy, but private classes, it's too expensive. Also, to be scared. And I think this is one of the biggest problems a person can face, to be scared. My mission, I want that people can speak fluently, that they can speak anywhere, that they can study anytime to achieve their goals, to get promoted, to feel confident, and to communicate effectively. Speaking is wonderful, and I need to be very humble because I am not a native speaker, and I am learning, and I know that I'm never going to stop learning. So English is a process. It's a process that lasts all your life and is fascinating. Okay, communicating effectively, right? Why do you want to communicate? You need to achieve a goal. You need to transmit a message. You need maybe to persuade, to inform. So clear communication, clear pronunciation is going to help you to achieve those goals. And you're going to ask, and what is clear pronunciation? Well, when you are articulating your sentences properly, producing the correct sounds, you are using a correct use of the stress, word stress, sentence stress, so you feel confident, and therefore you can achieve your goals. Many times I remember that I used to be silent when people asked me something, and I got blocked because I couldn't produce the proper sounds of the words. I couldn't express myself. Difficult? Yes. So I'm asking you again, have you ever thought about those students who feel the same way? How can we help them? And this is what I'm going to teach you in the plenary. I love Adrian Underhill. He designed a phonemic chart. And remember the map that I told you? It's so effective. So don't be scared. I'm not going to be teaching this today, but I promise after the plenary, you will know exactly how to teach, maybe in one session to your students, and they will love you and they will feel so happy. But first, let's do an activity. You can do this activity with your students and let me know later how they felt. The first thing that I want you to do, I want you to record these words in an audio, all right? Record them. I'm going to give you 1 minute to record them. Done? Great. Okay. Next, I am going to be showing you each of these words. And I want you to tell me, how do you pronounce this? Or how would your students pronounce this? Well, what I have heard, they say clothes or clothes, right? But check. If we show them the phonemic transcription, you can teach them how easy it is to pronounce this word. It would be clothes. And here I need to tell you something. Pronunciation, it's a skill in which you need to be flexible. We have the International Phonetic Alphabet, but there are some variations of the sounds of the symbols, right? So what I recommend my students is to use always the same dictionary. So we can have like the same criteria, because then there are students who may say, teacher, that is not true, it's not the sound, or they may get confused. So tell them to be flexible. All right, and there are variations of English. For example, we have American English, we have British English, we have Australian English, etc. So repeat with me, close, and here you need to feel that vibration. Next, how do you pronounce this? My students would pronounce something like collage, all right? And when they see the phonemic transcription, they say, ah, colleague, and look, check, here we have an apostrophe. After the apostrophe, we have the stress. So it would be colleague. And I teach the intonation like singing, like na, na, colleague, and they love it. All right. Next, how do you pronounce this? Some of our students may say Iceland, teacher, right? And guess what? We don't have any S here. It would be island. And here we have the beautiful schwa. You're going to fall in love with the sounds, and I want you to transmit that love to your students. Sounds are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Next, how would you pronounce this? All right. What about your students? And here they can get corrected. Mountain. All right. Beautiful. Next, environment. They struggle a lot with stress, right? Na, 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 na. Environment. Check this. Environment. So when you are teaching this, they say, oh, teacher, so there is a way to read pronunciation. Yes, because English is written in one way and pronounced in another way. And there are some patterns, but there are no rules. So the only way we have to really know how to pronounce is through these phonemic transcriptions. Another one, this one, money, right? Money. And you say, why are you making these gestures? You will see in the plenary and you will love it, right? So that would be money. This one, cousin, all right? And you need the vibration and the schwa, cousin. Then, daughter. I have some students who love British pronunciation and they say daughter, something like that, right? So what about this? I have heard many people saying business, right? They make the E longer, business, right? And check business. And we have a vibration here, business. And finally, this word, right? They tend to mispronounce pronunciation a lot, right? So here we have it, and we can say pronunciation, na. Sometimes I break the word, right? For example, I say, sí, Nancy, pronunciation, all right? So they have the first part, right? And then Asian, pronunciation, and there you go. After that, I recommend you to have a quick review on all the words. Okay, repeat with me. Close, colleague, island, mountain, environment, money, cousin, daughter, business, and pronunciation. Beautiful. Okay, now I want you to record again these words. You're going to have 1 minute, okay? Ready? How did you feel? I want you to check the first audio and the second one, compare, do this activity with your students. If you want the PowerPoint, I'm going to be writing on the comments my mail, so you can ask me for the presentation, and I'm going to be so happy to share it with you. So you can tell me how well your students did it. And they are going to be curious and they are going to be interested about this. Let's continue. I'm going to show you another great video. I want to introduce my friend, Mr. David Perodin. He is from the States and he's now living in Thailand with his beautiful wife, Orwan. I love this couple. So he is telling us why communication is important. All right, please take a look.
Why is proper communication important to communicate effectively? Well, it is. Proper communication means you are asking questions, you are making requests, you are trying to clarify information. So if you want to communicate effectively, you have to be very confident in what the person is trying to tell you or what you are trying to communicate to the other person. So the world operates with clear communication. When there is not clear communication, things fall apart. So remember, communicate clearly and effectively.
Wow, thank you, David. You are awesome. He's a great researcher. He has done a lot of research. And remember that I told you about anxiety? He's working on that. So he believes anxiety is like a block that stops us from learning. So I am so honored to have a friend like David. David, I respect you a lot. Thank you so much. And if you could see in the video, he says that communication would lead us to speak clearly and confidently. That is like our main goal. So I agree with you. So in the webinar, not in the webinar, in the plenary that I am going to be delivering, guys, sorry, I'm going to be teaching you how to master these sounds of English with your heart, with your mind, and with your hands. I'm going to be teaching you all of these sounds, yes, in one class. You are going to say, no, Christy, that is impossible. No, in one class. And also I'm going to teach you how to teach to your students. And I am not going to do this alone, all right? I'm going to be using artificial intelligence, and I'm going to be using total physical response, or TPR. I'm so happy, guys, to invite you to our next convention that is going to be in Puebla. I am ready. I am so excited. I want to invite you guys to go to attend. There are so great plenary speakers, workshops. You are going to see a lot of great things. You are going to learn a lot. Remember that the most important, guys, is that we are investing on the way we are teaching, and our students are going to love us even more because we are going to be more prepared, we are going to have more strategies, and we are going to learn a lot. And of course that we are going to eat delicious food. Thanks, MEXTESOL, for this opportunity. I am so honored to be here. It's a privilege to share with you, and see you in Puebla, guys.